Okay, welcome. We're starting a little bit early for the what is it? Wednesday night, the Wednesday night live stream for all our penny stock billionaires. Exciting day in the markets. We have stocks that are taking off. There's a mixed bag. There's a couple of our stocks are taking off, like RHT, for example. Peak Fintech, former next super stock, but we're still following it over here, is moving, and the summer rally is actually kind of started, but the backdrop is it's a mixed bag. The market, the overall market. Here we go with the Russell Index futures. They're looking a little rough. I would say, this is this chart could be bearish. I would say it's a little bearish. If it breaks this neckline below, 2100, let's say, sort of 2100, that would be, probably very bearish. And we could see new lows. I'm just showing you some NASDAQ. So NASDAQ is still, it's kind of still in that channel. It is in that channel, but right now things are kind of looking for direction. So what does it mean? I think it means, like, right now you kind of want to be cautious. And we would only be entering new positions in things that are either kind of like a double bottom type of situation where it's very much de-risked, kind of like a logic. Again, I hate to, beating a dead horse. I'll go to this chart later, but this is my personal opinion. By the way, before I get into all that, I should just say, should only be considered financial entertainment, not a recommendation to buy or sell securities. And by the way, the stuff we're talking about here is purely opinion, chart related, nothing to do with company official news, any of that. My opinion, I'm not speaking on behalf of companies or anything like that. And this is all paid content. So with that said, if you're joining for the first time, make sure you click the links in the video description below to join our Telegram channel. You definitely want to be on that, because that is where some intraday market commentary on stocks that are moving fast, like Peak Fintech, RHT. And if you're a subscriber to, and by the way, it's free. If you're a subscriber to our Telegram channel, you would have gotten some really good, I would say, I don't know if anybody's subscribed. Put up your comments, but it's doing pretty good. So, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel. Press the like button. Also, I should say, for anybody that's watching this video afterwards, please leave comments, because I understand the YouTube algorithm, we need to have comments for the video. So leave comments, something. So the YouTube algorithm needs engagement. So this is what I've learned from what's his name, with the guy in Louisiana. So all right, let's jump into the stuff that is moving right now. Let's jump. So today's hot topic is, and I'm going to cover Peak Fintech in just a second, but let me start off with RHT. We've had some amazing market calls on our Telegram channel on this thing, because this thing is actually charting very well. So, and listen, anybody watching this, we called the breakout at 45 cents, 69, 70 cents. So the stock is basically doubled in a month. So this thing is up 100%, which is pretty good in this market, right? It's it's been quite a while since we've had stocks double in a month. Or actually, no, Peak FinTech has doubled in the last, couple of weeks. So yeah, so we're getting, there you go. So we have a couple of things that are already double. It's been so long since we've had stocks double like in a month. It's been like, my God, it's been probably since like March, April. Things have been, this has been a rough couple of months, but things are back on track. The summer rally is finally here. The summer rally that I've been predicting for months, and now that we're at the end of the summer, the last month, of course, a little bit late, but better late than never. So what is going on with RHT? I've been saying that I think this is going to be at minimum 250. But I would actually upgrade that. I've been giving it some thought. Based on kind of the momentum I'm seeing now, and I have to take the fundamental picture into account also. I think we could see a $5 stock in, it could be $5. It might take about 6 months though. It might take about 6 months. I'm almost certain we're going to see 250 within a few months. So I think we're going to see 250 in a couple months, and we're going to see new highs. I've been saying that for a while. So this thing is finally moving. One thing I got to tell you, what I really like about this stock is that there's so many haters. This stock has so many haters. I always like to follow the sentiment, because that kind of gives me an idea of like what's going on. And if you go on a website like CEO.ca, one of these message boards, and by the way, most of the people on the CEO.ca, they're completely retards. I mean, it's some of the dumbest people on the planet. These guys make like stock fam look like they're Nobel Prize winners. All these guys talking about it, it's complete morons. But anyway, but this site, the board for Relic, this thing has so many haters about the stock. I mean, like, I don't even know why these guys are commenting on the stock. They're saying it's this, it's that, whatever. And now that it's moving up, they're still bashing. It's such a bizarre thing. But here's why it's important. Here's why I'm bringing this up. I believe a stock, the more negativity a stock has, the more upside that has. It's almost like an inverse relationship. So the more kind of negativity, which is like just comments that have no factual basis, that's what I mean by. So when you have a lot of comments that don't have factual basis, that are negative, that means the stock has room to run. The inverse relationship is when you have all of a sudden everybody's saying, "Oh my God, this thing is going to 100, it's going to 1,000, it's going to whatever it is," without any real solid fundamental basis. I mean, that's usually the sign of a top. We see this over and over again. So I like to monitor these boards just to get a sense of sentiment. And the sentiment on a Relic is horrible, which is what makes me extremely bullish on the stock. So, by the way, we're going to have Lisa back on our live stream on Friday. We're going to have Relic on 12 o'clock Eastern, and we're going to have Logic at 12:30. Two stocks, which I think, again, these are stocks that nobody's really watching. These are like stealth bull markets. And I think they're going to be huge winners. What I like also about this thing is, from a fundamental standpoint, I mean, look, listen, the fundamentals to me is, look, the problem with this company is, like any development stage company, the thing is, look, the issue is when a CEO starts talking about the stock, everybody wants to know. Everybody wants projections. People want to hear, they want to hear the CEO say, "Hey, look, this is what we're doing, and we're going to have X, Y, and Z. Revenue is going to be great." But when you have a startup, right, nobody can really make accurate predictions. And I think what happened was, in the case of RHT, they made predictions. Things took longer. Things took a couple of years longer than what was expected. And here you go. All of a sudden, now that they're actually doing what they said they were going to do, they're doing it. What's incredible is that this RHT, the timing was really perfect. They joined our platform in March. exact inflection point. All of a sudden, they start getting, these contracts, everything else, the onboarding is starting to happen. The COVID thing, I guess I can't say that on YouTube because it gets blocked, but the thing, the thing that's been out there in the world in the last 18 months, that's made it very difficult for the healthcare, to get new technology services like onboard and things like that. But now they're moving, things are picking up. So I think you're going to see incredible things start to happen. And by the way, how many, God, the problem is this. Look, listen, everybody has no patience in the penny stock world, especially. I'm one of those people. I have no patience. Like I'm not here. I like programmers which are 6 months who do a campaign. That's why I like to get these companies when they're at that inflection point. I really don't want to get involved in the ground floor where it's like, early and this and that. That's nonsense. But look, if you look at PKK, perfect example. Peak, my God, that company. I mean, before we got involved this last summer, this time last year, 12 months ago. I mean, from what I understand, this before my time, this thing has been through like pivots and this and that, and it's, and then when they joined our platform, it was again at that inflection point, so it was lucky. There you go. Sometimes, I'll give you another case in point. Fans Unite. So here's a company that's really, I think it's very similar to RHT, but is that people want to hear, that they want to hear projections. Look, the big story in fan. Actually, let me get the fans. Let me get the fans in just a second. I'll bring this up. I want to finish off on the RHT chart, but they're very related. Anyway, look, I think this thing is going to be huge. The chart is amazing. We got I don't know, you want to call it a cup and handle, whatever it is. But basically, you're going to see this thing. And then I think you might break out a little bit, or it could consolidate in the next few, for a week or two. You might see consolidation for about a week, possibly. This is not going to go parabolic. I don't think this is going to go. I hope it does. I hope this does not go parabolic right now. I think we're going to consolidate over here in this $1 range. And by the way, when you see the stock consolidating, that's when you're going to see all the haters on CEOCA, these people saying, oh, it's a scam, it's this, it's that, whatever. And then you're going to see the stock at $2. I mean, I got to, this is I see the same thing over and over and over. This is like a broken record. Nothing changes. It's all human psychology. I mean, all these things, purely human psychology. I absolutely do believe that TBP is a 10-bagger from here. I think it's a $2.50, $3 stock easily. This one also has a lot of haters from way back, but not as many as RHT. RHT is it's sui generis. What's the Latin word? It's a one-of-a-kind case. It's like an insane asylum. Exactly. The summer, the rallies are starting to happen now. So anyway, RHT is looking very, very good. Let me go into fans. Okay, so fans. The fans. This has been like this thing is always it's like a problem child of the stock. So. Okay, so we introduced this one oh my God, how long has it been? It's over a year now. We introduced this in here, I think. A year ago, right here. I think it was August 25th, it might have been. So, and then look what happened for 2 months. It pretty much went nowhere for 2 months. You saw a little bit of volume, but basically went nowhere. All of a sudden, people, after a while, they started getting the idea. And it didn't take a lot to move the stock. And then the stock, it basically became a 10-bagger, right? So it's up to 10x. This is one of our 7. How many 10-baggers do we have? 10-baggers plus 10x to 50. So this is one of the 7 so far. I think we're going to have 10. I think we're going to have 10 baggers plus before this year is out. So that means we have 3 more stocks that are going to go 10x. Between now and end of December. So what is going on? So this thing really took off like a rocket. February 16th, I think it went a little bit, it got a little ahead of itself. Things kind of cooled down. You had, of course, the February 16th, the Valentine's Day massacre for microcaps. And this thing really got whacked. It all of a sudden started making a comeback. They do the financing, and that, they closed 25 million, right? I'm going to go into that in a second, but that kind of threw the stock for a loop. Everybody hates these financings, and it's been kind of, sort of rudderless almost. Well, I mean, it's gotten a beating for the last month. So, what do I think is going to happen? I took a look at the close chart here just to give you an idea. I think we're going to drop into like the 66 cent range here. I mean, it's a few pennies from here. It's basically 7-8 cents. So you get a base. You have this real base kind of in this like 66, 67 cent range. And I think this thing is going to form a nice base over the next month. With fans, everything always kind of drags out and then it starts moving. So you're going to probably see a base develop over the next month, and then it's going to do what it was supposed to do, before this financing, which is, in my opinion, fans is going to make new highs. And the good news is this: now that you have this extended base, before I had a target of 3. I think again, this thing could be a $4 or $5 stock now. So I think once it makes that base at 65 cents, I think we'll have that in by September. So you got to be patient here. Once that base is established, I think we're going to see a $4 or $5 stock, and it's going to take. It's not going to. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's probably going to take it like 4 or 5 months. So it's going to really. But here's the thing: these guys are in the right place at the right time. The the sports betting, iGaming. Now here's the thing. Back to what I was saying with Luis. Look, the big thing, I think, the key story here is these games. These what do you call it? RNG, whatever they call it. These basically these are the games that they develop for online betting. So it's like with the spinning. What is that called? The RNG. They don't have. I guess they don't have slot machines anymore. It's like different things that happen, but it's the same idea. And that's the thing that all these online casinos use. Those games, which that's where they have the big margins. That's where they make the real money. Now here's what I'm looking at. Everybody's talking about sports betting, this, that, whatever. If there's very tight margins in sports betting, and they're going to get tighter, right? So all these guys doing sports betting, whatever, they're going to rely on iGaming, which was the fans doing, to make their real money. So it's like, the sports betting is kind of that gets the guy in the door, but while he's on the site, he's going to play, some spin the wheel, and he's going to lose, $50. It's that's kind of the way casinos operate, right? So the thing is that the way that model works is that licenses out these games to different casino operators. Could be hundreds, could be thousands of casino operators, etc. And they're going to make a couple of they could make $1 million, 5, 6. Here's if a game is successful, they could make it could be 50,000, could be $1 million, per month per game. Now, from what I understand, this is what we're learning, is that you need to have really, in order to get into these kind of aggregators, you got to come to them with 7, 8, 10 games. You can't just come with one game. You got to have a portfolio. So you give them an assortment, and then they put them on, they rotate, etc. So fans, what they've been working on for the last months is getting more of these games. I think they have 3, 4 games. They're going to have probably 6, 7 before the year is out. But And again, their games are kind of geared towards like a younger demographic. They're kind of more fun. It's whatever, what the kids, it's what the millennials like. So, and you guys saw some demos, whatever. They showed some demos before. So they're going to have that out there. The problem is everybody was expecting them to have these games done like, 6 months ago. The minute they started talking about it, everybody said, "Oh, these guys are going to have." These things take a while to develop. It's almost like developing a video game, right? It takes a while to develop. But the good news is that they're going to have these out, right? They just they hired this guy Mike Lee, who is essentially a rock star in the space. He's basically going to be running that business. He ran another company in the he was a CEO of a company, that iGaming business, and he's going to basically get these things into the aggregators. He's going to I'm assuming do product development, all that other good stuff. Bottom line is they have the right guy. They have a senior executive who knows that space, who's going to be running that business. And that was this hire just was announced a few weeks ago. Nobody really paid attention to it. But I think this is going to be the key thing to watch. So I think that is going to be the big thing. And again, just like RHT took longer than people expected, I think for fans, I think the big story is, when is fans going to have 10 of these games that are making, $1 million a month, 10 million a month of revenue, 100 million. And that's all, by the way, pure profit, almost pure profit. It's licensing. Because basically, when you license these games out, you get a certain percentage of the drop, whatever the people lose, the casino keeps, they get a percentage of that. Great business. I actually know a guy who makes, I think like $30 million. I mean, I hear this, like $30 million a year from a video game, from a game that's used in like, I don't really follow it. Like, these, what do you call it? Casinos or whatever, all that bullshit. Almost pure profit. And it's an old game from what I understand. So it kind of gives you an idea. If you have a hit game, you can make a lot of money. So fans could be a massive, massive winner. You got to be a little bit patient. Again, I'd wait for that base, 66 cents, and then you're going to see new highs. So, wow. I'm not pumping, stop pumping. Everything is good. No, I'm kind of, with these chart chats, it's kind of like purely opinion. I'm kind of giving you the, what I believe is what the chart is saying. This chart is basically saying the stock is going to drop to 66 cents, build a base, and then it's going to go higher. Okay, we got Gilbert with a Jaguar, with a WSR. Okay, so 6 figures in fans, 10. So you were into it for a while, but you're still up, apparently. Yeah, I think you're going to be very happy with this thing. By the way, you mentioned something interesting. You said because okay, so this is the Jaguar, the infamous Jaguar profits you made with the Wall Street Report of stocks, and apparently you had like a license plate made up, like a little thing which says WSR, and you had it on a certain website, and what is it? They banned your pictures. They banned the pictures there. Okay, 22 cents. He's in at 22 cents. That was the bottom, basically. That was the bottom. There you go. The WSR Jaguar. You got to upgrade. We got to upgrade you to like a Lamborghini, like in like some crazy color, like a lime green, tangerine, whatever it is. Yeah. So let's see here. Oh shit! I threw that might be an acquisition. It could be. I don't think so. I don't think anybody. Well, here's the thing. They just raised a bunch of money, right? So one of the things I think is that they're probably looking at some deals. They're probably looking. Why would they have been in a hurry to raise that money, 25 million, while the stock was going up, right? So they must be looking at something. They must be looking at something, because they had 15 million in cash that they raised just a few months earlier. Right, so now they're in a great cash position. Something is cooking, so I think that's going to be one of the catalysts. Okay, so peak. Let's go to the peak chart now. Peak Let me just pull this up. Okay. So what did I? Oh, okay. So before I go into peak, let me go into logic. One of my favorite stocks that nobody has caught on to yet, which is fine. Again, you're seeing the double bottom, right? Last time we were here, the stock went to $14 in 3 months. Again, we got involved in this last July, 350. The stock ran to $14. Today, the company's in a much better position even. They got everything going for them, but they got whacked because of the Canadian financing. So that was the thing that took them down. It's trading at 2 times the revenues. The peer group is trading at 10 to 20. So I believe this thing is going to go minimum, in a few months. You don't believe me? You don't have to. Watch and see. Company's now listed on NEO, so everybody in Canada can finally buy the stock for the TFSA accounts. Not that we recommend what you do with your accounts or whatever, but yeah. Okay, so Gilbert. Okay, so yeah, I don't think Peak is going to be doing a. I mean, you never know. I mean, what if somebody offers $10 a share or $5 a share? I mean, it's possible. Look what happened with Score. I mean, there's a lot of exciting things happening in that space. So let's go into Peak FinTech. Okay, so Peak, so just a quick recap for anybody that's new. So Peak we introduced last year at early September. I think it was 35 cents. So basically 70 cents post split. So it's already up, what is it, 12x, 13x. Took a while. We finally broke out of that $3 range. And as I said, when it would break $3, it would go crazy. So that is exactly what's happening. It took 3 months longer, 4 months longer than anticipated. We're in the parabolic phase right now. So what I would say is this right now. Peak is not a client of Wall Street Reporter at this point. Personally, I have some shares from, not personally, the company has shares from, our option exercise, whatever. So I'm interested. I'd love to see this thing go higher, obviously. I think there's an opportunity for this thing to move. The question, and doing is because this thing is so volatile, pretty much we're going to be doing all the commentary on our Telegram channel. If you want to be on the Telegram channel, click the link in the video description below. You can subscribe. It's been very accurate. I think we got a shot to make a move here. But look, we're getting close. I think we're getting close to the point where, you want to, especially if you're into it early on, I'd be looking to take a profit at some point soon. Not yet. I think we have a shot at $20, possible, but it depends on the velocity. It depends on a couple of things here: the momentum and the velocity. A couple of factors I'm following very, very carefully because I have a decent amount of shares left, and I'm just being candid here with you. So I'm not doing this, for mine. Okay. I'm just gonna make this comment here. I think we have a shot at tomorrow. Today was a nice little correction, and we called the bottom of the correction, by the way, on the Telegram channel. So I think tomorrow we're gonna touch back to the $11 range. And then we have to see what happens. We're getting into kind of these. We got to see what shakes out next couple of days. But the point is this. I mean, it's been a 10-bagger already, and when I look at these things, from the standpoint is okay. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, as a promoter standpoint, business standpoint. I only want to promote stocks that have a 10x upside, right? I don't want to get involved in things that are just going to double or whatever. So, which is why I like to, sign companies up for 6 months, because I think that's enough time where there's going to be some action, and maybe we might extend for another 3 months. And that usually 9-10 months, that's enough time for a stock to go 10x, right? Sometimes I think it should happen within 10 months roughly. And well, there you go. Look at this. Okay, 10 months. That's the exact number. I've talked about this before. That's like kind of a magic number for our 10 baggers, basically. Yeah, so basically, so when a stock goes 10x, I have to look at it. Okay, do I really want to be, promoting I mean, let's say, do I sign up a company? We sign up for another 6 months and it can only double. I mean, that's not that interesting. I mean, I was in a situation with like Nextech and a couple of others. It's not that interesting anymore. So I think that this thing is. I think the peak is in this kind of phase where the big monies could be made right here, which is like in the gross dollar terms, right? Like it's very possible that peak can go from excuse me, where it is right now to $20 within a month, right? Because that's only a double. So somebody who buys it here will be making $10 in a month, right? Whereas Gilbert had to wait 10 months to make that same $10, right? Yeah, so again, TBP I think is very, very similar situation. I think I talked about TBP earlier, and we talked about TBP many times. Oh, let me pull up the chart. I haven't looked at the chart today. No, I don't think it's going to sit around. I think the stock is going to move. I don't really care about this uplisting stuff. I mean, I really don't think. Again, I think this uplisting stuff is not for every company. Not every company needs it. So let's see. This guy's into peak. Okay, so you got into $1.11. Oh, you bought it on the way up to that border. Okay, so that's okay. Let's see here. So let me pull up the chart on TBP. Yeah, so TBP, well, okay, listen, this chart is not looking great right here. I think we might see a test of 25 cents. And then it could start, moving up. So we might see a test of 25 cents. Very possible. I think this company has great fundamentals. Look, we had all the videos out there. I think we're going to have the CEO back on probably the week after next week maybe. And that's it. We'll see. We'll get a lot of catalysts in place for this thing to move up big time. So, and I think they could be, I think that TBP, Logic, I mean, these, again, I'm expecting at least 3 more stocks to join our 10 bagger plus list before the year is out. So the next 4 months, I think we could see some big moves. And I think TBP is going to be one of the big leaders. Right now it's quiet. These things go through, they go through these phases. By the way, I do want to mention one stock, which is not a client at this point, but I was looking at this stock and starting to move. That's Liquid Avatar. So for full disclosure purposes, I have some shares in the company, or Octagon Media, Wall Street Reporter. We have some shares from a because we got paid in some shares, right? So I'm hoping this, and I'm hoping it goes up. So And yes, I've actually been holding on. I sold a little bit, but I'm holding on because I think this thing has a shot. Look, listen, the investment thesis when we signed up like a liquid avatar was this. These guys, they're addressing a big market opportunity. They got something is going on, and I think these guys are like, the CEOs. He's like one of these crazy inventor type guys that he really is. He really, this guy is kind of a visionary guy. Many times, like, so I think this is like one of these types of guys that it's almost like a lottery ticket. Like, this is like one of these guys that all of a sudden, they come out with something crazy, and and then it becomes huge. So that's kind of, I don't know if I'm articulating it properly, but that is the investment thesis. So I think this thing is moving. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. I haven't talked to them in a couple of months. But I think we could see a move here in Liquid Avatar, LQID. I don't know anything right now, so whatever. But the chart is looking promising. Again, not a lot of data in the chart, but you can see kind of what's happening. We could see 20 cents shortly. Let's see what happens then. Okay, for tomorrow, stocks to watch. RHT, number one stock. By the way, look at the volume today. Massive volume. So this moved today. I mean, this is the real deal. This is the real deal. So tomorrow's movers, RHT, I think we're going to see something interesting. Again, the CEO is going to be on our program on Friday. Peak, if you want to know what's going on, join our Telegram channel. It's free. Click the link in the video description below. And what else do we have? You got Logic. You got Fans. So those guys, I'm kind of those stocks you want to keep an eye on. I don't think they're going to be moving tomorrow, to be candid. But these other things these are the momentum plays. Possibly, I think it's very possible. Very possible we could be at $1 in that 97, just to frustrate people. Wow, that's a big projection, man. Big projection. This guy's Jeremy, we're hiring here. If you want to be pumping stocks, this is we got there we go. Okay. So so VST, we're not working with VST. I don't know what's going on with those guys. Like, they kind of went MIA, which bothers me a little bit. And I to be honest, I don't like the way the promotion went. I think they could have done things a little better. I mean, I really wanted to have Shafin on more, the CEO, and he was only on like twice basically. And I think if he was on more often, because he's the guy that really, you know what? Look, for the future, here's the thing. By the way, for the future, here's the policy. We're only going to have CEOs on. Like, this thing when anytime we have like anybody who's not the CEO of a company, it doesn't really work. It doesn't work quite well. It's like, it's got to be a founder CEO. I mean, I like Vahid, but we've got to have, it's like CEO. It's like anytime you had, I'm trying to think when there was the last time we had a situation like this. We had this a couple times where, they brought in somebody else because the CEO is busy, whatever. And I don't want to hear that. I want to hear the CEO. Okay, Q2. Okay, I don't know. We'll see. Listen, again, I think there's a path. I think there's a path to $20. We'll see. We'll revisit the situation. But I think, minimum, I think at this point could be $12, $14. We'll see. Look, the point is this. The point is, you know what? Let me be very candid with you. I kind of put all my cards on the table. Look, listen, I always believe in parlaying, and our whole model really is this. We bring you these stocks. Hopefully they go up 10x. You make your money, you pull out the profits, and you put them into the next deal. You parlay them. So we want to keep things moving, and I think that's kind of the way it's always worked. I mean, that it's usually, after 10x, there's less room to go. So I mean, it could go 20x, but it's I think it could. I think this guy could, but I don't think it's going to go 100x. I mean, this guy's talking about $50, all that other stuff. I don't know. That's whatever. It's this is where this thing is. I think it's a pretty impressive accomplishment already. And again, there is always, at some point it becomes these things are, it's a whole different investment situation, etc. It's going to be an expensive Tesla, man. Because if you pull out some of the gains and some of these things go up, 50x, that Tesla might cost you like $1 million. It's $1 million Tesla. Imagine if you would have kept that money in. I'm just pulling like that. It's good. I listen. I always recommend pull out the principal at least. Buy something, not buy whatever. Do something. We're not working with Skylight. I think it's kind of hanging out. I think it has a good upside still. I think we're not done. Look, they're not promoting the stock because, I don't know, the chairman, whatever, they don't want to promote. They want to do institutional, blah, blah, blah. Which is why they're in this situation. There's no promotion going on. And the institutions haven't stepped up to the plate yet. Maybe in September they will. We'll see what happens. I think Skyline is the right company to be on NASDAQ. I think it's a right institutional story. I think Prad is the type of guy that would do well with institutions in the healthcare space, right? So I'm bullish on this. I know Sean likes this thing. He thinks it's going to go to whatever. I think this thing could still go to $10. And I am holding shares on this. I'm basically sitting. I hate the fact that it's not running, but it's just hanging out here. Jeremy, when can you start? I need somebody to be pumping stocks here full time. Okay, let's see here. Okay, that's it. All right, so bottom line is tomorrow, keep an eye on RHT. And I think that's going to be, I think RHT is, we're going to see RHT, I think, as this is going to emerge as the bellwether, which is going to be insane. You know what's crazy is, again, like what I said earlier, if you want to know what stock is going to be like a massive winner, go on COCA or any of these message boards, and the more haters a stock has, and where the hate is not based on any real sound fundamentals, it's just like opinions. Oh, this thing never went anywhere. Those are the things that do the best. And the inverse is true. When people get all crazy, they think something is going to go to the moon. At some point, it doesn't. So RHT could be. Could be like CBDT. Nobody believed CBDT last December when it was like 10 cents when we introduced it. Nobody believed it. No, we introduced back at 10 cents, had a lot of haters from way back. So RHT is stock to watch right now. That's exactly. When people kind of get crazy and they say, oh, it's going to like, $5, $10, $50. By the way, this is just for in case anybody doesn't, people were saying it was going to $5 when the stock was already $2.50. So in 4 months, which is crazy. And you know, people were saying it was going to go to $5, like a straight parabolical run. It doesn't happen that way. Listen, you know, this is, I'm sure you're probably kicking yourself when the stock ran to, you know, 250, but you know, this is this is how you make money, really. It's not by holding things out forever. It's by, you know, parlaying the next deal. You get in at 8, you make 5 times, 6 times your money. You go on to the next deal. That's what this is all about. So, so I hope everybody makes a lot of money in Peak at some point, and they're going to have money to put into our next deal, which and we have a couple of things. We have, well, we got Logic right now. It's looking beaten down and cheap. And we're going to have 1 or 2 new stocks we're going to introduce in September, later in September, I think, which could be, you know, really, really huge. And always, this is the best time period to get involved. Late summer, September, that's usually, you know, those are kind of, for whatever reason, that's usually when these things are kind of cheap, cyclically, whatever, and then nobody's really paying attention, and then they start running. Yeah, there you go. All right. Okay. So thank you for joining today's live stream. Make sure you click the like button, leave your comments on the video if you're watching afterwards, or even now. Put in the thing saying, oh, this is great, or no, I hate this video, this guy's an asshole, whatever. Any type of comments is good because YouTube likes to see. And, you know, that would get more traffic, etc. And what else? And make sure you join the Telegram channel. I will see you on the next live stream on Friday with RHT and Logic at starting 12 o'clock Eastern time.